Hello, I'm Peter O'Hanrahan. Welcome to this short talk about the Embodied Enneagram workshop. As you probably know, the Enneagram provides us with a wonderful map of 9 personalities and their patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. And in this way, the Enneagram is a holistic system, which means it describes our personality type in 3 centers of intelligence: our mind, our heart, and our body. We usually start our learning about the Enneagram with our mind. We develop our knowledge and we also develop our self-awareness. We understand our um, way of seeing the world, our habit of mind, and how this shapes our major goals and relationships. But our type structure is also based in emotional and physical patterns. In order to really work with ourselves effectively, we need to include our feelings and our bodies. For example, we know that each type has a particular emotional habit, and this provides a lot of the motivation and fuel for our type structure. We won't get very far in our work on ourselves if we don't work with our emotions. Also, each type has different patterns in the body. How we breathe, how we might restrict our breathing, the ways that we hold chronic tension or numbness in our physical body. These patterns are called body armor. And it's a big part of how we learn to defend ourselves from painful or unacceptable feelings and sensations when we were young. But what was necessary in childhood can become very limiting later in life. And the body armor not only reduces our ability to feel our feelings and sense our bodies, but it gets in the way of our physical health and vitality. Different types have different patterns of body armor, and that's what makes the Enneagram so useful. It helps us to focus in on what are the priorities for our particular situation. I first learned the Enneagram in 1978. It's a long time ago. And it's changed my life and my relationships in a really big way. It also changed how I practice as a counselor and a body therapist. When we understand the 9 Enneagram types, coaches and therapists know this, we can apply whatever our method is a lot more skillfully, in terms of how we approach different types and what they need from us. So this was a huge help in my professional practice. And after a number of years doing this work, I created the Embodied Enneagram workshop, which I've now taught in 8 countries. And it's been a privilege and a wonderful experience. There's always a lot to learn about the 9 types and the patterns of body, breath, and emotion, and which techniques work best. In this workshop, unlike many Enneagram workshops, we'll be spending at least 50% of our time doing experiential work. So we'll start with simple breathing and stretching exercises and move on to shoulder and neck massage. And we'll also have some guided breathing sessions in small groups. Now, when we open up our breathing and relax our defenses, it often brings up more feeling. And the goal here is to create a safe space where everybody can explore their feelings and their body sensations with support and care. Some of the work is fun. It's always enlivening. And some of the work can take you deeply into your feelings. But everyone is encouraged to work at their own pace. And nobody has to do any exercise that they don't want to do. It's really important that we respect each other's boundaries. And boundaries, of course, are an important part of the work. So here are some of the topics we'll cover. We'll certainly look at the 9 somatic profiles for the 9 Enneagram types. And these include the different breathing patterns. Some personality types tend to breathe more into the chest, like the 2s and the 3s. Some types, like type 9 is a good example, tends to breathe more into the belly. Some personality types like to take a lot of breath. Type 8, for example, likes to breathe very, very big, in very big ways. And then some types are more cautious, like type 5. We'll talk about how children are born with a physical temperament that gives us the biological base for our personality type, and how this sets up neurobiological patterns throughout our lives, and how we can work with those. We'll talk about how body type affects our personality type. It makes quite a difference how we experience our Enneagram type, depending on whether we're in a slender body or a more muscular body or a larger, fleshier body. Has a big influence. We'll work on how to loosen patterns of tension in 7 different segments, 7 different areas of the physical body. Things like knowing how to relax the jaw or relax a tight diaphragm. And we'll certainly be working with how to get to and then underneath the emotional habit of our type, so that we can open up more of the capacity of our heart center. If you come, you'll leave the workshop with a lot more awareness about your breathing and your emotions, and how you can increase the movement of the chi, or the life force in your body. You'll have exercises that you can use in your daily or weekly practice, and you'll have specific suggestions for your personality type about how this holistic approach can support you on your journey of healing and self-development. Thanks for listening. If you're interested in learning more about this approach, you can visit my website, where I have some articles and an Embodied Enneagram handbook for sale. And this is the enneagramatwork.com. The enneagramatwork.com. The next time I'll be teaching this workshop is in Singapore, September 23rd to 25th. And if you want to know more about this or interested in registering, please visit the enneagrammsingapore.com.